Well, I'm going to be recording this on my other YouTube channel, this one, not on the one that I'm usually on. Now, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a haze right up here. Don't worry about that. The glass on my phone is a little cracked. But I'm going to go into this. The Indiana Department of Child Services is under hot water. In July of this year, July 9th, 2018, the Department of Child Services was admonished that the appellate court admonished them. And the reason is because 9 cases of parents getting their parental rights terminated by the Indiana Department of Child Services and the courts without the parents even knowing that that happened. The 9th one had stated that she was waiting in the waiting area to go into the courtroom when the Department of Child Services, as well as the court, decided to terminate this woman's rights as a parent. She didn't know. Her public defender, her attorney, didn't have the courage to face her. He had to text her. This is all in her complaint. The Department of Child Services' new director is currently investigating this. She admits that they denied her due process under the Constitution, terminating the parental rights. Didn't give her an opportunity to speak. That's a denial of due process. Well, what about the others? What about the parents, like me, who had their children taken? And when they got them taken, the Child Protective Services social workers had no warrant, had no court order. They said it was under exigent circumstances. Well, exigent circumstances is if the child's life is in immediate danger. Life. That they could have had time to go to a judge and say, Your Honor, this is what we have found out. We need a court order to remove the child from the house or from school. They didn't do that. Well, if you've heard my story before, then you know how my children were taken. What about you? Have any of you been affected by Child Protective Services? I'm going to tell you right now, the battle has only begun. But there are states like Texas, Arizona, Louisiana, the Dakotas, just to name a few. There are children that are being taken. No court order or anything. There are judges who are getting taken, and the judges are fed up. In one, the judge is clearly stating about the Adoption and Safe Child Act that Bill Clinton signed. That's saying a lot. More and more judges are coming out. In 2011, you can go on YouTube and see this, where judges, attorneys have lost their license because they decided, hey, guess what? I'm going to bring this to light. I'm going to bring charges against them. This is an epidemic. And now it appears that it's coming to an end. You need to fight. Child Protective Services is not your friend. Yes, are there children that should be removed from the home? Of course. I hear stories like that all the time where Child Protective Services failed them because they failed to act when they had evidence. But Child Protective Services looked the other way, claiming there was no evidence. that even the perpetrator, the predator, admitted, hey, yeah, I do it, as if they're bragging. Those are the ones that those are the children that need to be removed, and the perpetrators, these pedophiles, need to be locked up. I don't know if there's a punishment in this world, but in hell, if it is true that you reap what you sow, that these people that do this to children, that actually do it, their punishment is going to be far worse than they ever imagined. But I'm saying this right now. Do yourselves a favor. Learn your laws. Google about CPS corruption. Find out about, if I have to, I will post on my Facebook channel. Again, 15 Indiana government employees are facing corruption charges, ranging from embezzlement to extortion to falsifying records. The Department of Child Services, in 6 months, 10 appeals. The 10th one was on July 9th. This is getting out of hand. We can't have parental rights being terminated if no one's done anything wrong. Especially you men. Learn the law. When is it wrong when two parents want to be together? Two parents want to actually raise their children. Two parents that are going, hey, guess what? We're raising our kids. We're not harming anyone else. And we're raising them the best way we believe. That's not being detrimental. It's actually helping the child. As long as the child is healthy, is happy, the child is clean, the child is fed, and the child is loved. Shouldn't that be enough? I'll be doing another report soon. But do yourselves a favor. Before you judge, find out everything you can. Chances are the parents who are getting their children taken by Child Protective Services, don't believe a word of that report. Try to find out the other side. Chances are you'll find out the truth.